Hello, air signs, and welcome to the mystery. I am Matt, and I am a psychic medium. I am a eclectic witch, and I am just a magical practitioner, an occultist, and I love what I do, and I love bringing magic and clarity to people's lives. I am so wonderfully obliged to present the air signs charm casting forecast for the week of May 23rd through the 28th of 2022. Now, reminder, this is not a timeless reading. So, a year from now, you won't be able to necessarily pull from this reading and say, oh, hey, yeah, this resonates with me, because I like to read in real time. The actionable steps that we can take right now to act on and change our fate for our desires. We are magic, and we are constantly creating our own lives as we live it. Now, that doesn't mean that there are things that we aren't, you know, sort of subject to that are more inevitable. But as always, take these readings with what resonates and leave the rest. And know that just by simply watching this reading, um, take it with a grain of salt, because you can change and the situations can change, and this is just a look as of right now while you're watching what may happen. Timelines are always changing. Okay, let's go ahead and grab my charm set. Pull my selenite out of here. And a reminder, these charms were hand curated by my lovely friend Annalise Gallagher with the Geldemont Studios hand wrapped jewelry, wire wrapped jewelry, and Tarot Talk Cafe. And she had a lot of these charms that she passed on to me, and they correspond with the Lenormand deck, the French divination system of 36 cards. Okay. Get them all in here, and we'll get casting. Air signs for the week of May 23rd through the 28th, 2022. Ooh, some flew off. That happens sometimes. Let's see what they were. Ooh, just one flew off. Just one flew off. I'm gonna take that as a prominent, more of a prominent thing. Now we have my airplane charm, which is the letter. And this has to do with messages and everything that can come up with messages. So we may have lots of quick messages coming in for the meantime. And sometimes that can be good, sometimes that can be bad, but I'm feeling that is pretty good. Okay, we'll set that to the side, and we'll get into our forecast. Now, for the week of the 23rd through the 28th, right now, my significator charm, which is this arrow right here, is pointing to the ring. The ring in Lenormand is representing... excuse me. That's the retrograde energy coming through right now. The significator is pointing to the ring, which has everything to do with commitments. And right next to the commitments is that desire and the passion and everything that lights us up. So we're committing to everything that lights us up right now. And right next to that significator is the tower, which has nothing to do with the tower in the tarot. It's not even close to that. But that the tower here in the charm casting set and the Lenormand deck has everything to do with internalizing and going inside, retreating to work on those things, to work on commitment, to work on our commitment through our passions and through our energy that feels absolutely joyous to us. Now, around that passion and joy also comes closest to the joy is our childlike energy, our childlike sense of adventure and wonderment. And that comes within the feminine energy, which is all of that intuitive energy, and our occult knowledge or any arcane knowledge or just higher spiritual wavelengths or in frequencies. Now, right next to the feminine and the feminine energies is our crossroads. So we have a lot of decisions to make within that feminine energy, within that intuitive energy. The moon is right here, and a lot of those decisions may be decisions that we are making that aren't necessarily decisions that are public. They're more hidden. They're more, you know, kept close to the chest, if you will. Close to the chest, if you will. Now to move over towards the star right here. I'm gonna count this as the closest thing to our commitment, and the stars are hopes. Stars are hopes, and it is sitting right next to. I hate to move things, but I can't really see this. This is the man. So that masculine energy is coming into physically manifesting our wishes, physically manifesting our desires. If we want the commitment towards it, then we're gonna have to go through that passion to get to the warmth, to get to those that sun card energy in the tarot, and manifest things more through our physicality. Now, but underneath that comes the changes, comes the endings, comes the new beginnings, and that is right next to the garden card. So I'm being led to say with this garden charm, which is my snail right here, I'm being led to say that you can walk through your own garden, more metaphorically than physically, but you can walk through your own garden and enjoy all the fruits of your planted seeds while planting the seeds at the same time. I know it may feel chaotic for a lot of us air signs right now, but we can manifest as long as our intentions are clear, as long as our worlds and spheres are separated and isolated in a sense to where each energy line we're working with is pure intent. You can be working in an area that may be miserable for you and an area that may be passionate for you alongside each other, but keeping them in separate containers means that once you throw out the container that is more oppressive, then you'll have a full container of the energy that is passionate and lit up. If you keep those separate spheres within this next week, then it may be easier to take the whole of the oppressive energy and toss it out without losing any of the passionate energy. Over here, when it comes to that oppression, the whip, which I use my charm that is representative of an old perfume bottle, which a lot of the perfumes that I see visiting relatives in nursing homes and whatnot are very oppressive, and they often put on too much. That's why I associate that. Oppression right now can come through social situations, so I would be careful about that, and that's right by your internalization through the tower. I would be careful where you are putting your energy, and you're gonna know. You're gonna use your intuition, and you're gonna know. You are going to know. Our anchor card, or our anchor charm over here, has everything about grounding and rooting ourselves, and also I know the ship is a very different charm, but I'm being led to say that it has something to do with anchoring and the adventurous energy. And right on top of that is the tree, which has everything to do with our health, our vitality, our roots. So we need to anchor more within this next week in our vitality and in our roots. And if we do that, we'll be led right to our heart. And I actually want to pay attention to this heart a little bit more. We have anchoring and our vitality, and then we have our heart. But right all around the heart is, if you see this, it's almost like a ring of fire. It's almost like a ring, like I said, the ring of fire, like the one in the Pacific Ocean. So around our heart is that grounding energy and vitality. It's unlocking ourselves despite our boundaries. Our boundaries have everything to do with that oppressive energy, that disease, that the old festering and stagnant energy. It's like stagnant water. But our unlocking, our key, our unlock point, our open roads is pointing directly towards the center of those boundaries and the oppressive energy, and it's busting right through that. Now, right next to that is the bear, which again has everything to do with going at it through our passions, going at it through our absolute passions, and that has everything to do with commitment as well. So we see commitment and masculine energy and passion through both sides. Now, I just want to point out as well, um, coming right up here, I'm looking through my viewfinder right now. With that heart, boop, right here, I'm almost sort of seeing a full heart pattern. I know this is kind of like drawing the Mickey ears, but there's our full heart. So stepping into our passions is going to be a big thing. Now, moving up, by busting through those boundaries is going to be all of our new starts. All of our new starts. And that has everything to do with being sneaky towards all of the mental chatter that keeps us, that negative self-talk. So right next to our new start is having to be sneaky with ourselves on those moments of negative self-talk, having to trick ourselves out of those moments of negative self-talk, and a need to be loyal to ourselves, like sort of mentioning to ourselves, oh no, this is looking like a toxic situation like the past, and actually acknowledging the past situation in reference to the new situation. There may be a lot of life review coming up in a way of talking yourself into the belief that, oh wait, maybe this is not a great situation that I need to move on from, because it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort sometimes to do that, but we're very capable of it. We are very capable of it. Now, over here, we have our, again, I hate to move it, our passport, which is a ship card, just so I can see. Ah, there it is. Right next to the home. So right next to the home and in the house, we may be coming out of a period of cooping up. Whether this is physically, this may be internally as well, more of the hermiting, and we may be coming off of that with news of travel, and news of travel that's not necessarily long distance travel, but more than just out of town travel. So that may be another thing coming up. And the need and focus towards commitment, towards our commitments, and internalizing that may be easier since we're just coming off of being in that more cooped up energy. Okay, one last sphere. Oh, I forgot another charm too. The lilies. So that's really closest. I know this looks like a starfish, but flipped over, it looks like a flower petal. So that's why I use it for the lily. Our sensuality, our sexuality, and is it really a good way to manifest right now as well? Good way to manifest. Okay. Sorry, a little bit of a side. Right now, we're going to need to focus on internally manifesting abundance. Manifesting our abundance through our spiritual matters. Internally, weighing all of our emotions and keeping all of our emotions in check and cutting what does not need to be there. Whoop, sorry. Cutting what is not to be there. And I think that's a pretty straightforward message right there. And it's right by our messages of travel. So as soon as we cut ties with those negative emotions towards emotions that don't serve us, and I think this has a lot to do with lack mentality as well. Constantly feeling like we're in lack. If we keep those energies in check and cut what does not need to happen in our heads, then we will be all right. All right, all right, all right. Hopefully this has helped you guys to see a little bit more clearly into the next week of the 23rd through the 28th. I would encourage you to like, subscribe, share this video, and like push it out there as much as you possibly can. I know we, in retrograde are a little bit shaken up, and hopefully this clarity can provide some help for not only you but for others as well. Down below in the description, you'll find my Buy Me a Coffee link, which is kind of like Patreon. It's got a monthly membership, but and I've got some reading options on there that come with that monthly membership. But also, what's cool about it is it has one-time donations of like 1, 3, and 5 coffees, the price of that coffee, that you can support me, kind of like in a tip form. Also, I've got a GoFundMe link that I just started, thanks to some encouragement from some lovely, lovely people, um, that is hopefully going to help me support myself in the near future. In the fall, my income disappears, in the job that I really, is not lighting me up. And my desire is to find a small Romani style gypsy Vardo, and take it to the road and take my mediumship with me and visit all my colleagues in LA, New York, and New Orleans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Go to different paracons, go to different conventions, and do private sessions and be able to take my house with me. And I know that seems like a big jump from uh, just starting in your first year of your career after college. But like I said, I'm at a point where I really have no other option, and it would be lovely to contribute, for you guys to contribute, and it would be lovely for me to contribute to all of the community. Now, that lack mentality for me, since I'm an air sign, has to go. So, my GoFundMe's goal right now is 20,000, so I can get that trailer and not have to add a payment to my bills. I'm trying to, get rid of rent. I'm trying to get rid of the water and electric and all of that so I can be more nomadic. And I'm fully aware that 20,000 people with $1 could make that happen. I'm almost seeing things numerologically of like 100 being 1 and 200 being 2 and 20,000 essentially being those numbers times 100, which would be 200. And it's seeming a lot easier for me now. And I think that a lot of us can use that in our manifestations to benefit our magic daily. I hope you have enjoyed this reading, and I hope you enjoyed the clarity. You can always reach out to me through my website, www.themystery.me, and that's mystery with an mystery.me, for personal readings on several different modalities, anything that is in access to my access to my tool belt. And you can find the GoFundMe link there, and you can just see some of my stuff. And I will see you all next